Um, finna react to a ggrimey, my bad. Ggrimey video. Recess was underrated. Um, let's get into it. Um, I did another video of his. I don't know if I'm a little down because my audio was a little low. You know, I'm trying to get better with it. You know, I realized recently that my audio for my desktop was maxed all the way, and my audio for my mic was like lower. You know, it wasn't max, but y'all know, y'all can clearly tell. You know, I still uploaded it though, my videos and stuff, but not that G Grammy video. I might
Being a
not.
kid has
But
many
I'm
perks.
ready to this
Playing
one.
with toys, having a vivid imagination, the book fair, etc., etc. But one of the best parts about being a prepubescent fetus is definitely recess. Being able to escape from the confinements of your classroom and enjoy your freedom was definitely a top-tier experience as a kid. So today, we'll be discussing the best and probably some of the worst parts about recess. Comment down below the best or the most nostalgic part about your recess as a kid, and like and subscribe if you're new. First, we gotta talk about tag. Tag was probably the best part about recess, and as one of the fastest students, it was the highlight of my day. But it was so annoying when you would hunt a nigga down like Michael Myers, and they would pull out that bullshit excuse talking about, I'm not even playing. My nigga, I was just chasing you for longer than a Final Fantasy cutscene. And you also got the kids who try to call timeouts when they're about to get caught. They would call a timeout, walk away a couple feet, and then yell time in. At that point, just go play jump rope or something, bro. And also the kid who tried to make every piece of equipment a base, and that they were safe. And to all my fellas out there, chasing your crush was the biggest flex back then. Another thing that came with playing tag was the cheese touch. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and lecture y'all niggas about what the cheese touch was and how revolutionary it was.
I didn't care about that, man.
Do your research. We had our school in a chokehold. You couldn't walk past anybody in the hallway without them touching your shoulder and yelling cheese touch at the highest decibel known to man. And the only way you could protect yourself from getting the cheese touch is if you crossed your fingers. And of course, you had the kids that were always cackling about their fingers being crossed. And the continuity was insane. Like that shit would last longer than a Fast and Furious series. You would be walking through the hallway without a care in the world and knowing that you gave the cheese touch to someone a month ago.
If we did, I clearly didn't care.
Somebody doesn't catch you lacking because all of a sudden you'll see a nigga running at supersonic speeds to give you the cheese touch. A clutch maneuver that always worked for me in elementary school was pretending that I had to sharpen my pencil and I would touch someone on my way up there. These were the harmless trends that us kids back then were doing instead of being fake ass handy mannies and making corn drills and shit. Now we gotta talk about racing. Now like I said earlier, as a kid who ran track, this was usually the highlight of my day. But there was an unwritten code in my elementary school that whoever ran the fastest automatically had immeasurable amounts of riz and had every girl falling for you. A kid could literally throw a pair of scissors at the teacher, but that nigga did win the race yesterday, so I guess he gets a pass. You wanna run that by me again? I don't know which of our 10 brain cells decided that popularity and clout was based on who was faster, but I'm not complaining. Now we gotta talk about the playground. Firstly, no matter how hard you tried, you could never avoid getting these wood chips in your...
It was those niggas that used to wear those free hug shirts, you know. That shit used to get me. I'm like, yo, when I was a little jit, you know, a little kid, niggas used to be wearing those shirts. They be getting mad hugs from girls and stuff. I'm thinking, you know, next time I go to Walmart when I was a little kid, hey dad, hey mom, buy this shirt for me so I can get free hugs. And I'm thinking, hey, maybe they would do that. I never brought one because I thought, yo, they not gonna hug you. I'm a little black ugly nigga. They not gonna hug you. So I never did. Anyway.
Your shoes. I remember once I came home from school and when I took off my shoe, the amount of wooden chips that poured out of my shoe could have made an entire new playground in my living room, bro. And if you ever fell in that shit, you might as well start writing your will. They would peel your skin off like a fucking banana. And of course there would always be that one insidious ass nigga that would throw them like fucking shurikens at the rest.
We didn't have my playground. Any playground I went to when I was younger, they didn't have those little wood, whatever you call it. We had mulch. That's what we had. And that was annoying. People used to be throwing that shit at me. Niggas was bullies to me when I was younger, yo.
the students. And I know y'all remember the metal and plastic slides that would reach temperatures of about 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. It was literally like sitting on the oven. It felt like Charizard had just hit that shit with a flamethrower from hell. If you decide to go down these
Yeah,
slides,
the metal slides,
you
bro.
better not let an inch of your skin make contact with that shit, because it'll have your ass looking like Freddy Krueger in 5 seconds. They really had us sliding on baking sheets, bro. I vividly
Yeah,
remember
for
going down
real.
that slide with shorts on, and that shit cooked my legs well done with the side of asparagus. The plastic slides also doubled as tasers and shocked you more than Spider-Man. The swings were also top tier. We really were out there busting our ass after swinging off them, bro. There was always kids trying to pull off Simone Biles ass moves and would land face first into the wood chips. But there was no better vibe than getting on the swing and getting higher than Flight Reacts. And if you didn't twist the chains of the swing until they were tighter than Joel Embiid's braids, then you weren't tapped in for real. And you already know if you climbed on top of the monkey bars, then you were automatically king of recess. The monkey bars is also where a lot of the lame ass.
I did that one day.
And underneath the
I did that one day, and I climbed to the top, got stuck, and I was scared to get down. So, I don't know, lesson learned. But I mean, if I do that now, I ain't gonna be scared, but you know, I ain't also not. I'm not gonna hurt myself. It's easy to get down. I'm just talking to talk for real. Y'all get it.
the sliders where some of the kids played house. But as a nigga with some decency, I never partook in those heinous activities. Now we gotta talk
What was he
about
talking about?
kids played.
Oh.
Monkey bars is also where a lot of the lame ass kids were gossiping and shit. And underneath the sliders where some of the kids played house. But as a nigga with some decency, I never partook in those heinous activities. Now we gotta talk about Foursquare. Now even this game,
I played that. I played house with my little sister. I'm not little, my twin sister. I did that when I was younger. Playground, yeah, I did that. I got decency though, nigga. What you talking about?
you could turn the most innocent, wholesome student into a malicious, spiteful beast. And since our school didn't have an official Foursquare court, we had to draw it on ourselves with a piece of chalk. And since these motherfuckers couldn't tell a duck from an elephant, they drew the most lopsided, crooked, and contorted lines ever. Like one box would dead ass be the size of EDP, and the other would be the size of Castanet. And there were constant fights due to this game, bro. There were more arguments than a divorced couple. I also got to give a shout out to kickball, because that definitely deserves a mention. It was always fun.
Kickball is a good game, bro. I used to play that joint a lot.
On the roof by the time recess was over. The roof on the school had collected more balls than Tiana Trump. Now I don't know where y'all niggas reside, but where I live we get a moderate amount of snow every winter. And of course we did all the classic things in the snow, like making snow angels and whatnot. But there were two things that we always looked forward to every winter at recess. The first thing was making snowballs. Now if you were gonna try to pull this off, then you had to be low key. So every time we knew the eyes were off of us, we would throw snowballs at each other like Brady in 2017. The other thing we enjoyed doing during recess was climbing these Mount Everest sized hills made of snow. Or at least we thought. Because when someone tried to climb it, they stepped on a piece of solid ice. That nigga tumbled down the side of the hill like Cameron. He sat there for a couple seconds and we thought we just watched someone send himself to the afterlife. But then he popped back up like nothing happened. After that, we weren't allowed to play on those hills ever again. Now we gotta talk about the water fountains. Now look, I know typically the water that comes out of these repulsive contraptions usually makes my stomach want to rock. But back then, that shit was like crack. No matter how hot it was in the school, that water stayed cold. And once that motherfucker started to shake, you already know he's gonna dispense it.
I just thought about the them niggas that be like they be counting down. They be like 1, 2, 3 times up or something like that. Y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all know what I'm saying.
Crispiest, coldest, thirst-quenching water of all time. It was deadass better than Gatorade, especially after putting up prime Jerry Rice numbers at recess. That water always hit different after putting up 9 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, and 240 yards. And of course, there were the Karens in training that would always try to control how much time people spent at the water fountain. Talking about 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Water didn't hit my lips yet, and I had niggas trying to take my spot like
for real.
But the worst part about using water fountains was being behind the kid that would turn into a fucking throat goat and shove the entire spout down his esophagus. If I was there behind one of these kids, I would just go the rest of the day with a throat drier than a Popeye's biscuit. Because I'd rather deal with that than God knows what disease or mutation I could get by using the fountain after that nigga. I never understood how these people had the balls to put their entire orifice on this thing, bro. Their stomach's gotta be lined with tungsten because there's no way they weren't fighting demons on that toilet. Now we gotta talk about the supervisor. Their main purpose was to drain any fun that we were having at recess. They really were moving around like they were the fucking SWAT team or something. They were walking around that bitch like they were feared and made it their mission to make our lives not worth living. You ain't no drill sergeant, sit your decrepit ass down. And they always had a fucking whistle for no reason. My nigga, who equipped you with this ear-piercing instrument? They were blowing it more than Joey Crawford. Pause. Like, they were really yelling at us for running too fast and chasing each other. We are outside, let me have my freedom. But by far the most devious act these niggas would commit was making us line up before going out to recess. We
For
always
real.
thought that they were a preacher or something, waiting for us to be quiet before we could go out. Talking about, you've already wasted 5 minutes of your recess time. This is your time, not mine. You've already wasted half our time by sitting here talking to us. And they used to do the same thing before we could come back inside. We had to get in 2 lines and couldn't go back in until we were in straight lines and were quiet. It didn't matter how hot or cold
we
it
didn't do
was. The
that.
niggas would make us sit there and bake outside in the heat like some of grandma's cookies. And of course there were the 2 kids at the back of the line that were cracking jokes and making us wait outside even longer. Now we gotta talk about the different students at recess. First there was the snitch. Now we already had to deal with the supervisors that were up our ass more than a wedgie, but enjoying recess became mission impossible when you had to dodge the snitches. They would literally lurk after people and try to catch them doing something. I really never thought that Randall from recess was a real person until I experienced it for myself. There was also that weird group of kids that pretended like they were cats or wolves. They would crawl around the playground on all fours and start hissing at niggas like cockroaches or something. Speaking of cockroaches, there were also the kids that collected bugs at recess. I don't know why these niggas thought that these alarming acts were fun and entertaining in any way. They were really some fake ass Mighty Bees in this bitch. Talking about, you want to see the beetles I collected? Bro, if you don't get these vermins away from me before I send them to a Juice WRLD concert. There was also the badass little kid that always spent the entire recess period standing against a wall or tree. They usually were the kids who tried to actively dismember limbs from the other students. They always had some type of bruise on their elbow that looked like this. And they probably had a buzz cut and pick their nose more than Ralph Wiggum. It's like these niggas were cosplaying No David or something. But if you see one of these variants trying to join you at recess, just know your life may be cut short. There were also the girls who just walked around.
A video scares me, yeah.
And they want to threaten to tell on all of us when they get hit with the ball. They were usually the stucco girls who thought they controlled everything. I also want to shout out Pokemon cards and silly bands. Niggas was moving weight during recess like Pablo Escobar. But
yeah, for real.
I think that's going to cover everything for this video, man. Thank y'all for watching. And comment down below the best or worst.
I never seen niggas, show Pokemon cards when we were in elementary school. I never seen niggas do that. But silly bands, yeah, niggas used to be charging for that, like $1, a good $1. I think it was hard. It was hard. And then the not other the silly bands, other type bands, the little rubber band bracelets people used to be making. They used to be charging on that too. Good $2, but still, I don't got a job. I'd be like, yeah, make this for me, and I'll be, they make it for me, and then I don't give them the money. Where am I getting money from? I'm 10 years old, nigga. Alright, well, I'm gonna catch y'all in another video. Y'all know what to do. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. I'm trying to hit 50 subscribers by the end of this month. Y'all got me, right? I'm pretty sure y'all do. Alright, I'm out.